Alright, so it's time to finally continue my ABC reviews with C, Countdown. A WWE film, WWE Studios film from back in 2015, my bad. And it stars Dolph Ziggler, Kane, and Catherine Isabelle, and is directed by John Stockwell. So, I've had this in my collection for years. Obviously, came out in 2015, so that's when I got it. I got it when it first came out because I thought it looked cool. I watched it once before this. I didn't remember anything about it. Like, nothing. It was when I was rearranging my wrestling DVDs, oddly enough. And, yeah, I don't remember anything about it. So, it's basically... Excuse me. This was basically a fresh watch. So, Dolph Ziggler plays Detective Ray Thompson. What did I do? So it's a piece of glass trying to hurt me. Anyway, so Dolph Ziggler plays Detective Ray Thompson with the SPD. Is it supposed to be San Diego? I don't know. I'm assuming it's in California. And he's one of those no-nonsense cops. You know, you don't tell him what to do. He goes by his own, thing. And this movie starts with him and another cop going undercover to, like this guy named Nikolai, who has like illegal weapons. And he shoots his own partner in the chest to prove he's not a cop, because Nikolai calls out the partner because it looks like a cop. And it's a running joke throughout the movie that this guy keeps getting pointed out as a cop. He keeps getting fingered as a cop because it looks like a cop. Because of this, he gets suspended. What I find weird is the next day, like, they bring him in on a case, even though he's suspended, and I'm like, did he get reinstated? Is there a time jump? But there's even a part where he asks Catherine Isabelle's character, am I reinstated? No. This is when they're in the middle of the action, and I'm like, so why was he brought in then? I will say, for the most part, this movie has some good action scenes, running and stuff. There is one part of this film that I really liked. It's because this is WWE. They decided to actually shoot a sequence at a live event. And you see, like, superstars making an entrance. The ascension takes fucking forever to get out to the ring. I'm serious. They're like... You show them coming out, they're like, ugh, and they come on the entrance, and then like a minute goes on, and they're still like coming off of that entrance. It's just like, what? And then they cut back to the action, it comes back, and they're not even halfway down the entrance. I'm like, how long does it take them to do their freaking entrance? This isn't The Undertaker here. But you see a lot of superstars, see if I can name, you got the New Day, the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, which at the time was 2015, Santino Marella, Dean Ambrose in his Shield gear. This is 2015. 2015. Wasn't it late 2015 when Rollins turned on him? I want to say. Whatever. Roman Reigns, the big dog, the tribal chief. Tribal chief Roman Reigns, we love you. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Rusev and Lana. And that's a funny scene where... Rusev, I remember this wrong. I thought Rusev was one of the bad guys. Because there was even this distorted voice telling about the bomb. I'm like, oh, that's Rusev. But it's not Rusev, it's just some Russian guy. And I'm not racist, I swear. He's Bulgarian, but he actually stops Ziggler, or Ray. He's like, I'm a cop. Well, show me your badge. And then he super kicks him in the face. And he super kicks Rusev in the face, and then you have Lana go, no, that's a real man. I did laugh at that. It was kind of funny. The Usos were there too, I think. But yeah, it's cool to see that kind of thing. That's the only part with it is it's a whole investigation trying to hit on this guy, and they do take down this guy. What I don't like is that they made this guy too smart, and then they kill him off as if he wasn't expecting to die. Maybe that's why they made, like, Ray so much of a, like, oh, he, does the unexpected. But, like, he calls out the partner again for being a cop. And then when he takes the bag, he knows to switch the bag because there's a tracker in the other one. And he goes out of the bathroom where he was hiding. He runs into Ray. Ray shoots him. And now they don't know where the kid is, because there's a kid with a bomb strapped to him. So the rest of the film is them trying to find him. And I guess they didn't think there was enough tension with that, because they put in this part of the film, most likely to pad for time, because I feel it's unnecessary to do. All of a sudden, this guy had a plan, a backup plan, should he die or something, to frame Ray for what was going on. Because all of a sudden, the partner shows up, sprays a pepper spray or mace in his face, takes it back to the captain, and they say that, oh, we found this little phone that implicates you in the murder, in the scheme, and then they start talking about what happened to his son Mikey about a year earlier, where another cop accidentally killed him. He was drunk. So of course, you gotta have that kind of backstory. And he sued the city for $20 million. This guy's asking for $20 million, 20,211 and some odd cents. And I'm trying to figure out what that means. Eventually, they do figure out that it's the 20 million is to implicate Ray, and then the 211 and some odd dollars implicate the bad guy's brother, so that he's in the clear. And then they pull off a twist that I don't think works at all. So they pull off this twist. The kid has been hidden underneath the police station the entire time. And that this bad guy, has been working there the whole time undercover as a garbage man. Now, I know you don't pay attention to your garbage men or whatever, the people that pick up your trash, which, but if he's been doing that every night for who knows how long, they would know what he looks like. Speaking of someone who collects trash for a living, among other things like mopping floors and sweeping stuff and vacuuming, they know who you are. They can recognize you. You come in every day, they know who you are. So the fact that this guy was shot and they didn't recognize him as the guy who's been collecting their trash for him every day, bullshit. It's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. It's there just to be a creative twist that he was in the police station the entire time, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I can't justify it. It just doesn't make sense. As for the acting in this, Dolph Ziggler, not bad. Kane, he's okay. Catherine Isabelle is a mixed bag for me. Is when she started, I went, yeah, because it was kind of cringe for me. Now, I'm not a biggest fan of Catherine Isabelle per se. I know there are a lot of fans out there, Ginger Snaps, or whatever. I have never seen those movies. I know. Yeah, you should have seen the good werewolf flicks. Okay. But I haven't seen them. I've seen her in Freddy vs. Jason. Her character in that film wasn't much acting. She was just being drunk. Wasn't much for her to do in that film. She acts drunk. She has sex with Trey. She's drunk again. And she gets killed. That's it. And then in Supernatural, she was another mixed bag, because when she was being normal Ava, desperate, wanting to help Sam, it was fine. But then when they had that twist, and spoiler alert for Supernatural, by the way, and she became evil, it didn't work for me. So I was a little bit conflicted. And at the beginning of this film, I didn't care for it. Like, her delivery just wasn't working. But then as the film went on, she started to work, I guess. Because she got better, I guess, than maybe they shot the first part of this film last and she just wanted to get done. And so she didn't care in her performance. I don't know. But the rest of the film, like, once the whole thing of trying to find the kid happens, she's better. I said Kane is okay. The wrestling actors like Rusev, he doesn't do much, but, you know. The villain is stock Russian villain. Okay, let me tell you something. People who write action films, not every villain has to be Russian. This film started and he went to Nikolai, and he's the Russian guy. I'm like, does he have to be Russian? Like, every villain in this film is Russian. They are connected, or Ukraine, as the guy who makes the bombs. They're all basically Russian. And I'm like, that's kind of racist. Like, I know like the whole go-to for action films is, oh, we gotta have a Russian terrorist. Look, Die Hard. Actually, he was German. But still, you know, they have to be foreign, basically. Russian, he was German. I don't know. This guy couldn't be American? No, because we gotta have scenes where Captain Isabel is communicating with a little girl that can speak Russian to another Russian guy, which that only pads out time. If you just have her talk to someone, it would go smoother, but you gotta pad out time. She gotta be like, what? Because she can't understand what he's saying, and I did notice there's padding throughout this film, like Rusev stopping him, or else he would have caught him sooner. Or the whole bathroom thing where he's right there in the bathroom and they tell him, no, don't go in there. Why? They tell him he has to stand there and wait. Why? Because if he did, they'd catch him sooner. And they have to pad out more stuff. The kid is located at the police station, but they go all around the town. They go to several places. She goes to an apartment building. They go to this one complex place, which then we have more padding because we need an action-packed climax, right? So we have Nikolai show up for no reason and try to kill them or do worse or whatever he said it's going to be. But then they take them down and they realize it's back at the police station. They go in. He saves the kid, which they still take forever to do. They have a limited amount of time, and he's doing this as slowly as fucking possible. And I know, you can sit there and you can say, Scotty, there's a bomb strapped to him. He sprayed it with liquid nitrogen, so it can't go off if you move it. That's why they sprayed it, so it won't go off if you jostle it, move it around. That means you take it down, get him out of there, and you run, not... Especially since your clock is ticking down and you're running out of fucking time and you got less than 20 seconds left, but because you don't want nothing to blow up or you need to pad your movie. And then they don't even get out of the fucking building when it explodes because he runs out of that area, it explodes, and then he comes walking out of the building with the kid. What? Why are they not blown up? They could not have cleared that floor before the bomb went off. So it makes no sense. But they're alive, and then we get one last thing between him and the other cop, because the cop, his partner or whatever, still thinks he's, behind it. Oh, funny that you found him so quickly. Punches him, knocks him out. Kane just goes, I didn't see nothing. And that's funny. And then we have this generic action song playing, and then it walks into a freeze frame. I don't know where he was going. And for trying to integrate his son's death into the story, we don't really see his wife much, his ex-wife, which I don't understand, okay? I've never had a situation like this, but does it really take that much toll on a marriage? Like, oh, she ended up with another cop because the son died, but really? Like, why can't parents just deal with it? Why is it parents in movies, we lose a child, we have to divorce now because, you know, they can't still love each other? Now, I've seen other films where it's like they have another child, like, but even like Saw 3, you know, slow-ass motherfucking Jeff and Lynn, they had another daughter which they both neglected because she was cheating on her husband and he was always worried about the son. He was always concerned about the son and drinking and stuff, and yeah. I don't know, why can't you just have people going through a loss together instead of writing, oh, they have to get a divorce? It always gets me. They did it with Stargate and Saw 3 and here and probably plenty of other things, but who knows? But I do have to say, I do have to say that this was actually a pretty good movie. I enjoyed the action stuff. Only thing I didn't really care for, I enjoyed the acting. Dolph Ziggler is really good. He's also an underrated wrestler, by the way. Deserves more, honestly. But I felt that there was a lot of padding, unnecessary twist with it being at the police station, and yet they didn't recognize the guy that cleaned their trash. I don't know, but I still think it's a pretty good film. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. So, what are your thoughts on Countdown? In the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna start giving hints for the next one. It starts with a D. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I'll see you in the next one.